What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Don. Keep it going, Charles. You know I'm gonna drop another one, bro. This may be a little unbiased opinion, Um, the really reason why I think there will be no race war, because it's really not even enough of niggas in America to make people that mad. Um, it's not enough for us to get white folks mad, bro. It just don't make any sense. Black people and niggas got too much shit going on in their own community. Like, we already trying to rebuild our own empire, bro. It might be an unbiased opinion, but honestly, that's just me. And it ain't it ain't niggas that they worry about, bro. And if it is, it's kind of stupid because there's a majority of them than us, but it's coming to a point where they're being outnumbered. Case in point, well, this is why I think there won't be a race war. Um, if you do your research, Asia, I think Asia and Africa outnumber white Americans, bro. Like, I mean, dead ass, bro. You come like think about it. Just think about it. We ain't enough niggas or black people in America to start a whole race war, bro. And niggas not even worry about it, bro. We not even worry about what the next man got going on, bro. Black people ain't worry about what the next, how they say in biblical terms, what the next nation's women or children or business. We ain't worried about what they got going on because we trying to build our empire, bro. It just don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of just beating on us like a redheaded stepchild or something like that, which is that normally doesn't happen, you know. But as in modern times, so to speak. But I think the race war is just like I said, it might be just now that I think about it, it's just a propaganda. It's just a propaganda. I mean, what's the point? What's the point in going? I mean, it's important to keep ready, to train and practice these things and all this stuff. That's very important. Don't get me wrong. That's just the nature in men. Um, but to be practicing in a backwoods somewhere just to kill more niggas and shit, that makes no sense. It ain't that many niggas in America to even stress anybody out, bro. And yes, I believe a lot of that slavery shit did make our people ignorant, bro. Like ignorant as fuck, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But this is new form of slavery, where it's just ignorancy, bro. That's all it is. You know, you gotta act ignorant to the slave master, so he thinks you know what you're doing, bro. Or you think he thinks you know what you're doing. Yeah, basically. That's where we get that shit from. And it was all not to get killed. That's the whole point. But see, when that shit's practiced, no one understands. They just blame black people for everything. Like I said, bro, it's just too much going on within our community. We're trying to rebuild our empire, re, re redoing everything, rewrite history over and over. Um, and like I said, they outnumber us. How are you mad when you outnumber us? You practically own everything, bro. Not gonna lie, bro. I'm just being honest, and I know it's not all you guys or every white person. Really, I don't think humans should be hating other humans, but really, like I said, then if I was Caucasian, if I was, I don't even wouldn't be fucking worried about the next man. It's just fucking weird in the first place. That's just weird in the first place. But you should not be worrying about a group of dark brown skinned people that are in smaller portions. You should be worried about. I would be worried about Motherfuckers overseas that outnumber us, bro. But see, since I'm black and my folks been through this shit for years, and I'm not trying to rape, I'm not trying to kill, I'm not trying to colonize, I'm not trying to do none of that shit, bro. Fuck all that, bro. Success and money, that'd be nice. Peace. But see, that's just shit. That is what it is. We like the only race that's cool with everybody in the world, but it's to the point where like we we ain't know now not to get close to too much of everybody because everybody is on that bullshit with us. You know what I'm saying? It's too many racial people in America alone. Just like it's too many people that outnumber Black Americans to be worried about what we got going on. Like I said, it's not that many of us. There's a lot of us, but not that many of us. You got, like I said, Africans, Asians, count Europeans. There's really not many of them. I guess there is, but even then, bro, it's like why focus on the next thing? I'm telling you, black people and niggas are not worried about the next nation's business. No one's worried about their women. Nobody's worried about their kids. Nobody's worried about what they got going on, bro. Because we know it's bullshit, bro. It's that natural instinct, bro. It's just bullshit, bro. Like it don't make any sense. I just sat here and thought about it. Like, bro, we don't even outnumber white people here in America, and we still get shitted on. But meanwhile, you got like different groups of people who outnumber white people, bro, by the millions, billions, billions, bro. Do your research, man. Just do your research. That's all I can really say. Just do your research. And it's nothing like I'm not trying to sound like fearful or ignorant, but yes, we are very tribal people by nature. Um, we are very tribal people by nature, but that shit just comes from our ancestors way back from Africa. You know, that's different. That's a whole another story in a nutshell, bro. But it's important to be tribal because at some point, that whole tribe has to come together as a nation to protect its own peoples and family and wealth. So it really don't make sense to be beefing with white folks, and we really don't at all. It's just the beef is with us, bro. I don't understand it, bro. Like I've even hear people say the analogy say, oh, "Man, I know niggas that hate niggas just as bad, way worse than white." Nah, I think it's the other way around, bro. It's still the other way around. Like I said, you got just a small proportion size of people who look like me, who've been here, who was brainwashed to think to kill each other. But like I said, that instinct, that tribal instinct, was turned into bad and evil. Instead of just going to one of each other for help and trade and goods, advice, love, peace, whatever the case may be, and knowledge, definitely knowledge. But it's just crazy, and I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm gonna just throw this in there too. Like I said, the Asians. You look at if you study this shit for real, the Asians and Africans, they damn near outnumber like everybody, bro. That's not including like the black Africans in like the Caribs, the Caribbean islands, um, Brazil. Like, bro, I guess we just there's I don't know. I know there's a few people like Brazilians. They fuck with niggas. They fuck with us, bro. They're cool as fuck, bro. At least I think, bro. You know what I'm saying? We know how to like I don't know. It's different with us, bro. I don't know how to explain it, but like I said, the Asians and Africans outnumber the majority of whites here in America. And if you looked at throughout history, white people were enslaved first. The Slavics, that comes from the word slave, or the slave word comes from the word Slavic. And who were the Slavics? Now that I think about it, the Slavics were probably darker Muslim folks too. But all I know is when the Slavics were white, they were enslaved by the Arabs and the Berbers and all that. So like, who y'all really mad at, bro? I mean, maybe what I'm saying. Like a lot of Europeans were enslaved by Arabs and Moors and Berbers and people with darker brown skin, Middle Eastern people. So maybe this is like their get back too. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Or yeah, it could have been that. Or the descendants of Nazi babies here in America, and we was kicking their ancestors' ass in Germany, but they migrated over here too with us when we came back from war. So it can be a lot of that shit going on. You just never know, bro. You just gotta. I'm not saying that, like I'm dig too deep into this shit, but everything was instigated, bro. And I'm telling you right now, it makes no sense for us to be the most hated people on the global earth, bro. That makes no sense. If you take out the violence in black people, we're just as cool as the Pacific Islanders. Pacific or yeah, Pacific. We're just as vibrant and family oriented like the Pacific Islanders, bro. But like I said, I don't know. Honestly, maybe the hatred and racism is just a fetishization in every form and aspect or something. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe it's like tick for tack, you know, colonizer for colonizer. Um, but yeah, even the Arabs enslaved white folks first. Then years later, they taught them how to do it, and they learned it, And eventually, they came to Africa, Egypt, which is in Africa, and Northern Africa, Middle Africa, and Southern Africa. It's all black. It's always been black, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, it's always been dark. I mean, it's always been dark people. It's always been brown people, red people, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then you got the Indian slave trade with the Arabs. You had that was before the transatlantic slave trade. But before the transatlantic slave trade, could you imagine like how many nations and tribes mixed before the transatlantic slave trade, bro? Years and years and years and years and years of mixing. That's so much mixing that half of Africa, if not all white, if not all white, but half white. And that means we already had a bunch of mixed breeds in Africa that came to the Americas and mixed with more different breeds of people. But the way that things were like handled was fucked up, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause it don't make no sense to take a group of people just because the way they look over to a new land, a new world, beat them, kill them, everything you can think of, and still hold hatred for them. But those people are strong and overcome and have a history and a lineage, something hidden, you know. Like I said, it's not all white folks, bro. Because like I said, it wasn't our fault they was getting their ass spanked first by the Arabs, bro. But it is what it is. You feel me? Oh, shit, they getting their ass spanked by the Asians, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. You look at what's going on, all the opioids and poppy seeds coming to America, opioid addictions. You go to every small town that has an opioid addiction billboard. You know what I'm saying? Or you look at the movie American Gangster, where he went to Vietnam or Cambodia. A nigga out straight out of Harlem. So was he out of Harlem, Bronx, or some shit like that? Nicky Barnes, he went straight to the head honcho and got the drugs and brought it here. Conditioning and brainwash. You know what I'm saying? But in reversal, working with the natural enemy. That's considered the enemy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know, bro. Shit, I don't know, man. It's just like I said, bro. Black people, us as a nation, we got too much going on, too much to rebuild, too much to restore, too much love to give. Because you've seen we're loving everybody else besides ourselves and each other, you know. But I think the whole race war is just a propaganda, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe white people are afraid that they might go back into slavery. Because, like I said, they were enslaved first, you know. They were enslaved first. I, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but it was by our Middle Eastern brothers and sisters. Even though they trying to claim North Africa and say that they're not African. I mean, if you're in Africa, if you're in North Middle East, you're North Middle Eastern. If you're in Middle East, you're Middle Eastern. If you're in Southern Middle East, there's Southern Middle. You're in the Southern Middle. If you're in Africa, you're an African. If you're in Northern African, you're a Northern African. If you're in Middle Africa, you're Middle Africa. You're all of Africa, bro. You ain't finna just sit here, come from the Middle East. No, sit there, enslave a bunch of motherfuckers, then practice that shit over here. Took it all the way to the Mediterranean Sea, and then try to keep all of North Africa and say that's nothing but Arab, Middle East, or you're not African. Man, that's confusion and bullshit, bro. That's all it is, bro. But that's what happened, man. That's what I think. A lot of people mix, bro. A lot of people mix. You know, it just so happened people who look like me were in all types of books before the internet was even thought of, bro. Now you can just look it up and it's all there, bro. It's crazy. Um, and I think racism is a propaganda and a defense mechanism. It really is, bro. And like even far as I hate to say this, even far as Trump trying to take it out the books and like no matter how much you try to do it, bro, no matter if he's trying to take it out of books and out of the White House and all that stuff, bro, it's just embedded, bro. It's nothing you can do about it, honestly. You might as well tear down the White House because niggas built the White House, bro. When the British destroyed it, you know. When their own cousins came over here and destroyed it. Oh boy, I don't even. It sucks, bro, but it is what it is. And the fact that they try to lie to us and say that oh, blacks are the problems and this and that, they're always stealing here. We're not even. It's not like I said. It's not even enough to even be everywhere. It just really ain't. And if that is the case, you just choose to be there with us, make money off of us, uh, or just choose to be there regardless. You know, and but you gotta think about the hustle and finesse we had to go through slavery and stuff that we were taught and learned. So a lot of that shit, that's a trick that's in our DNA too. So I mean, I don't know, bro. But like I said, we ain't the problem, bro. It's not that many of us to make anybody mad, bro. It really ain't. Like I said, we don't outnumber them. It's people from overseas that really got smoke for them, bro. But you know what's crazy though? They hate us here, bro. It just don't make any sense. So that's why I'm just thinking like we had to done a lot of shit for the people that hate us, bro. Because we didn't go through all this just to be treated the way we're treated, and not gonna allow people to treat us with how they want to treat us, bro. But you know what they say: treat people how you treat people is how you get treated back. Look how the whole entire country's being treated, bro. I don't know. What y'all think, bro? I think it's just like I said. I think it's just propaganda. That's all it is to keep people poor, impoverished mindset, bro. But I'm gonna say it again, niggas, black folks ain't worried about what the next nation's business got going on, bro. Like I said, I'm gonna repeat. And we trying to build our own empire, restore our own empire. But they are not. We are not worried about the next nation's business. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we'll be nosy just like people be nosy with us. We'll be nosy so to make sure we let our folks know what's going on too. But it's a natural spiritual war, you know what I'm saying? We're already it's bloodline shit, bro. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's bloodline from bloodline, bro. Bloodline for bloodline. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. But yeah, bro. Like I said, you guys let me know in the comic section how you feel, bro. But that's just my unbiased opinion, you know. So that's just my honest opinion. And like I said, it's just stupid to be mad at black people or fake mad or follow the trend. Because while you're following the trend, you're too busy. You will be too busy getting ate up by something else and not knowing it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Um, Not only that, we don't outnumber them. They're already outnumbered, bro. And like I said, think about it. Why listen to a group of people tell you that they'll promise you everything you get here and tell you not to be bothered with us. As soon as y'all get over here, bro, it's the exact opposite of that, bro. And this is why they got personal shit going on with them, their community and demons and shit. That's why they got that shit going on, bro. You know, but I don't know. This is not to be negative. You know, I really had to think dig deep and thought about that because you know why hate on a nation of a group of people, an old ancient lineage of people who haven't done nothing to nobody. You know, but I don't know, bro. That's just me. I'm watching TV. I'm watching TV though. It's ironic this lady keeps saying shut up, but you see what I'm saying? Lisa, no, I'm just playing. Let me stop, bro. But yeah, do some research, do your studying. Don't just take everything from my word. Like I said, it's just an unbiased opinion, bro. Um, you can't hate on the people that's already in tune the rhythm of the universe and nature. When kill this, still and destroy is not in our lineage, you know. But people fall for the okie doke, so I guess it's easier to fool them too. So, love you guys. See ya.